Hi guys, it's Catherine Birchall, the Life Balance Coach, and this week's vlog is coming to you in the evening, so Friday evening this evening, because I'm talking a little bit about Mondays. And I don't know if anybody can relate to this, because I thought perfect opportunity to talk about this today, because we're about to go into a weekend, and I hope you're all going to have a lovely weekend and do something nice. But has anybody ever felt like this? Have you ever started to worry about a Monday on a Sunday? Have you ever started to build up anxiety about going back to work or doing whatever you do on a Monday because you're not really enjoying it? Because that was me about 4.5 years ago. So I used to be that person that dreaded a Monday morning because for a few reasons. One, I wasn't really enjoying my job. So the thought of going to work on a Monday was horrendous anyway. Secondly, I used to get so worried about what I was going to walk into because I had a role at the time that work was open on a weekend, and I would often go back to a lot of mess and a lot of problems, and I just sometimes would just want to hide away from that and not deal with it. And three, I used to have a massive commute. So I always used to commute to work and back every day back then, and I knew that a Monday commute would be horrendous, and I knew I'd have to get up early. Now what started to happen about 4.5 years ago is this Monday fear started to consume me on a Sunday afternoon. So I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I started to think about what maybe I was going to be going back to, the fact that I didn't want to go back to work. I started to worry about I was going to have to deal with, what problems had occurred. And before I knew it, the anxieties were building up so much that I was worrying about it constantly, that it ruined my Sunday afternoon, and I never ever slept on that Sunday night. So I used to toss and turn. I used to lie awake thinking about it. And then I would get up on a Monday morning and obviously be not in a great place. I would be tired. I would be exhausted from worrying myself for the last sort of 12, 14 hours. And I just really didn't want to go into work. So I'd find myself on the Monday morning snoozing the alarm. But knowing that I had to get up early because I had this massive commute and the traffic was going to be bad because it was a Monday, so I had to get going. So I used to drag myself out of bed. I used to drag myself into the shower. I used to have some breakfast. I used to get in the car and I used to worry all the way to work. And what happened was then my Monday never ever went to plan, and I never enjoyed my Mondays. It became this massive build up of it's a Monday, and I started to think to myself about 4.5 years ago, I can't carry on like this. I can't keep having Mondays like this. I'm exhausted. And I used to get home from work and I'd be drained because I hadn't been sleeping. I'd been worrying and building up all those anxieties, because for anybody that suffers with anxiety, you know that it is exhausting because your mind is working at 100 miles an hour. The good thing about this is you can decide to make a change, and that's what I did. So about 4.5 years ago, I said to my partner, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep putting myself through this on a Sunday night because I'm drained on a Monday and I'm not enjoying my Mondays. Now there's a process we use, a technique we use in counselling called swishing, and it's a process that helps you to put another image in your mind. So there's actually 3 steps to this process. So the first thing you need to do is identify what actually you would like your perfect Monday to look like. Okay, I would like to get up bouncing out of bed with loads of energy. I'd like to feel better. I'd like to feel energised. And have a picture in your mind actually of what your Monday's going to be like. When I get to work, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to have some fun with my colleagues. I'm going to enjoy speaking to my customers, or I'm going to enjoy taking the kids to school and catching up with the mummies at the school gate. Whatever it might be, it's about creating the perfect Monday in your head. That's the first step, get it written down. The second step is starting to practice visualising that image. So putting yourself into that Monday and thinking, okay, this is my Monday. This is going to be my new Monday. This is what I'm going to be. This is how I'm going to be reacting on a Monday. This is what I'm going to be. This is how my Mondays are going to go. This is how I'm going to feel about it. And then on the Sunday night, the third step, when you start to get those anxieties and worries, you switch. You swish your images. So when that horrible image of Monday comes in that you had, that you've built up in your mind for such a long time, and you start to worry, you suddenly think, swish. You swish up that old image and you bring in that new image, that new visualization you've been practicing of what you want a Monday to look like. Now this does take practice. It's not going to happen overnight. It did take me a few weeks to get the hang of it, because this old image will creep back in, because that's what your paradigm's been used to, and that's what you kind of set your mental mind to. So it's really important that you practice this technique. But what will happen, and what I found over a period of time, was that eventually that old image wasn't in for such a long period of time and the new image was coming in. And then what I actually found was I was enjoying my Mondays a lot more. I started to put in a Monday routine, which I have spoken about before on my Instagram TV blog, and I'm sure I will do some things in here about Monday and weekday routines. But I started doing things like having a cold glass of water when I wake up, splashing my face with cold water, putting on my favourite tune and having a bop, just literally really focusing on the things that were going to make me happy, putting on my favourite CD in the commute to work, leaving it 5 minutes earlier so I maybe miss a little bit of that traffic. And things started to get a little bit easier and I started to enjoy my Mondays. Now my core driver in all of this was, to be honest, I wasn't enjoying my job and I had to get out of that, and I changed that, and as you know, I now run my own business, and if that's the core thing for you, then maybe we need to have a chat about that as well. But this technique, swishing, will really help you out with the old, in with the new, but spend some time getting down what that's going to look like for you and what your perfect Monday would look like. So have a practice at using this technique. Try putting it into the Monday morning and seeing how you feel. It might take a few weeks. I'd love to hear your messages. I'm getting some lovely messages from some of my blogs of people that have put these things into place and are seeing a benefit, and I'd love for you to get a review up onto some of my social medias if some of these things have been helping you in creating that more balance in your life, which is what I'm all about. I'm a life balance coach. I want you to feel healthier, I want you to have better wellness, I want you to have better mindfulness, and I want you to have more balance in your life. As per normal, register to get in touch if you want to book a mini session and hear a little bit more about what I do, and want to have a conversation about some of the ways that I've managed to deal with that and I've managed to get out of my current situation, or my old situation should I say now. So have a great weekend. As I said, I'm sorry it's coming in later, but I wanted to do it later today because I wanted to focus on the Monday morning. Get swishing.